We are live. Hello, L Puppy's here. Excellent.
Guys, I wore my orange shirt today because it contrasts nicely with the blue shirt.
Oh.
See, I was thinking about the color wheel. And
You
I was thinking,
were?
I wasn't
Were you
thinking
really?
any of these things.
Oh.
No, I wasn't thinking about the color wheel. I never do. I put on the orange shirt, and then later I put on the blue shirt. There was no thought that went into it at all. I wanted to get retroactive credit for something I didn't do, which is one of the strategies for getting by in life.
Yes, it
right?
is. Yes.
Friends, if you weren't on the last show, we missed you. We
Yes.
thought about you this weekend. We said, how are those guys doing? Oh, isn't it nice to lie back and do nothing? I mean, how are those guys doing? Oh, pass me the popcorn. So, anyway, we cleaned up our house.
We didn't eat any popcorn.
We went for a bike
missed
ride.
An opportunity.
Robbie made the most outrageously rich chocolate cake, and we thought we would have a little bit of it, and we ate all
Was that this
of it.
weekend?
Robbie,
we
ate that cake so fast.
We did eat that cake so fast.
Anyway, so that's
Actually,
what we did.
I have one last piece in the fridge that I was going to eat for breakfast. What happened? I lost
It's
all
still
sense.
it's still there.
Okay.
It's still there. I kept children from eating it.
Thank you.
Because that is my job.
Thank you.
Is to protect Robbie's cake from the child's. All right, friends. In the last version of the show, in the first half hour, we talked about monkey buttons, which are something you push
It's
to make things happen.
not a real thing.
It's a thing. It is a thing. You can make a thing. You guys, you can make things out of nothing. That's what it means to be an artist or a creative person. We created monkey buttons. We created jackety dancins. You can create things anytime you want to, and nobody can tell you not to.
I would like, please, a formal definition of monkey buttons because I'm still not clear.
A monkey button is something that you metaphorically press to make something happen, but it's confusing. Like the monkey button might be a hologram, so you think you're pushing it, but the monkey button's over here.
Oh.
It presents some sort of challenge. Operating a monkey button takes more than the usual degree of
It's just
ingenuity.
not pushing a button.
It's not. No, it makes you think that it's just a matter of pushing a button, but
Okay.
then it throws challenge at you.
Yes. Oh my
But
gosh,
it's
I
worth
push monkey buttons all day
all the time.
long.
It's all you do. You are a monkey button operator. That is your job. That is your goal in life. What does that say?
Report on the weekend.
Guys, we had a
We
good
did
time.
that.
We missed
Didn't we
you.
do that?
We feel energized.
We just did that.
Taking the weekend off was the right idea.
Yes, we slept.
Yeah.
In fact, we made a deal with our children.
Oh my gosh, this was the best. We said that our children
You
could
can
stay
have a night of indulgence.
You can stay up till 1 o'clock a.m.
1 a.m.
playing your devices.
However,
means in the morning.
In the morning, you are not allowed to leave your room. No. You are not allowed to
Bother us.
You are not allowed to speak loudly and wake your youngest brother, Jasper.
You're not allowed to have desires. You're not allowed to have wishes or dreams.
Simply need to stay put.
Yeah.
Until we tell you that it's time to get out.
And we didn't let them out until 10:45.
10:45.
We probably shouldn't be admitting this on the internet.
And I just want to say,
What? It was delightful.
2 of our children,
Yeah.
the boys, were like, "This stunk. We're never doing this again."
That's right. We taught them a lesson.
Our daughter,
Yeah.
loved it.
Yeah. So
So
we'll
there
see
you
how
go.
it goes. All right. Theme song.
Theme song.
Theme song.
Just the general theme song.
Just
We're
the
going
general-
back. We're going back to the
it's old school. It's happy days. It's
all right.
It's
Yeah.
floating down the river
There's
and
no
a little bit of a.
There's no competition
Here
in
we
the
go.
general theme song.
The Robbie and Matthew, the Robbie and Matthew Show.
I think we got away from the theme song and I forgot how lovely it is. All right,
is
what does this
lovely.
say?
Matthew does jackety dancing while listening to Matthew Fan Club theme song 2.
I don't know how they go, but I'm going to try to remember.
I'm very excited. Don't hurt yourself.
So like this kind of?
No.
What is it? Okay. All right.
You have to shuffle back and forth.
All right. Oh.
Yeah, you still.
I
you have
forget
to
about that
keep
slow
going.
decay. Yeah. Okay. All right, friends. See? Jackety Dancins didn't exist a week ago. Now I'm doing them.
Wow.
All right? And when I do them, that
was
means
gonna say,
hundreds of
hopefully everybody is
fans
doing them.
everywhere
Yes.
will start doing them. They're going to be doing them in Times Square soon. But not real soon. All right. Here we go. What does that say?
Robbie does jackety dances.
No. Oh, read more carefully.
Robbie does dackety Jansen.
Robbie does Dackety Jansons while listening to Robbie's.
Fan Club theme song.
What is a Dackety Jansen? I can't wait to find out, Robbie.
I don't know what a dackety
What is a
Jansen
Dackety Jansen?
Oops.
We're about to learn something, you guys. Robbie is about to innovate
I'm
before
about
our
to
very
innovate.
eyes. Do you want to practice your Dackety Jansons a little bit
Excuse me.
before you do
No,
them
no.
with the theme song?
No.
You're going to spontaneously... Are you going to do it seated?
No.
No? Okay.
I'm preparing myself.
Oh, this
You
is like
guys,
a method actor.
Inventing something
Okay,
on the
okay.
spot is not.
Okay.
You didn't
Okay,
snap
okay,
your fingers.
okay.
Give me a minute.
Okay, excuse me. Excuse me.
You're gonna have to push play, by the way.
I can do that.
Okay.
All right.
Dackety Jansons.
Dackety
we're
Jansons,
doing?
Dackety
Okay,
Jansons,
I'm ready.
Dackety Jansons, Dackety Jansons. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
On your mark, get set.
Robbie is cooler.
Ooh. Ooh.
Robbie
I like it. But you're... Oh, there you are. Oh.
I'm gonna kick something.
Yeah. Yes! Well done! I hope you guys did that move and that you will do that move. Oh, are we accidentally listening to my theme song? What are you doing there, Robbie? What is that called? A wackety flanson? Schmick schmackety manson?
Jazz hands.
Oh, I love it. Thank you.
All right, no.
Oh, you cut me off in the middle.
I did cut you off.
All right, that's fair.
Had enough of that song.
That's fair. Okay, here we go.
Oops.
Now it is time to drink water.
Where's our water?
There is our water. There is the water for you. We are defying gender stereotypes. You'll drink the blue water. I'll have the pink water.
We're not defying gender stereotypes.
Yes, we are.
We are supporting the pre-Victorian gender stereotypes.
You can do whatever supporting you want to. I'm defying. Drinking this water defiantly. Get your water, friends. Ooh, I wish we had cameras so we could make sure you're drinking your water.
Cheers.
Cheers.
I drank before I said cheers.
Ooh,
It's not the proper thing to do.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Chin chai.
Chin chin.
Chin cho. Chimichanga.
I would like you guys to come up with a special Robbie and Matthew.
Oh, what do we
cheers.
say? What is our cheers?
Yes,
what is our
what's
Robbie
our
and
cheers?
Matthew cheers? Do we say,
Huzzah! Bravo! Ba 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 ba!
a jackety day to you, McDanson? Something like that?
I do like that one.
Let's try it. Jackety.
Jackety day to you.
But you,
McDanson?
McDanson, but you can shorten it to just jackety.
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 You've got to say it in sort of a confident, sort of
Oh,
sideways.
all right. Jackety.
Jackety. Guys, by the end of this show, there's a lot of water in us. All right, so we drank water. Now we are going to drink more water.
Oh my God,
Yes,
what?
yes.
I'm still drinking. I'm still drinking my first
We
one.
are doubling down today. This is to see if we can actually make Robbie explode before the end
The
of the show.
first one was Jackety. This one's dancing.
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 Dancing, my good fellow.
Dancing.
Dancing to you.
Oh my gosh. Waylon drank his water. Good job, Waylon.
Good job.
Now you have to drink another one, apparently. We're doubling down. That's what this is called.
All right, we're out of water. Our house, it just ran out of water. So there cannot be any more water. We're not out of water. That was a joke because we drank 6 glasses of water. Robbie, I admire you for pushing forward here. We are getting all sorts of information about wars over here. Drink more water. What does that say? Can you go to the...
Contemplate lemon squares.
Contemplate lemon squares. I just thought that lemon squares...
What?
Yeah, they're so
Wait,
good.
at the
I
end...
I know. Waylon just made some lemon squares. Waylon doesn't even have to contemplate them. He could just get down and eat them.
Wow.
We are full of jealousy. Do you think Waylon and I are in some sort of a...
Yes. Did you talk to Waylon this weekend?
I wrote this agenda last night. I didn't talk to Waylon.
You and Waylon have some kind of crazy mind meld.
That was my silent
your
burp for
silent
this
burp for
show.
this show?
Yeah, Waylon, please, could you take out an envelope and stick
Send us a photo of you with your lemon squares.
send us a lemon square with a photo of you. All right, here we go. Did you go to bed on
Wait, we didn't have time to contemplate the lemon squares. Please, give us a moment. You described the cheesecake so beautifully last time. Please describe lemon squares.
The lemon square I love has a thick crust.
No.
That
Thin crust.
No, at the bottom. At the very bottom. It's got like a base that's a crust. Maybe 1/8 of an inch thick.
Okay, that's not thick.
To me,
in
that's
my
thick.
estimation.
And then
I'm sorry.
it's just saturated with the lemony delight, the sort of gooey, delightful, lemony, zesty creaminess.
Oh, my
And
mouth just
and
started
the top,
watering.
The top is just a little bit dried out. You know, it's cooked just such
a little
that
bit crisp.
it gets
I
a
like
little
when
bit crisp,
it's a little bit
and then just
crystallified.
they put the confectioner's sugar on it. It just dances across the surface of the lemon square, and when you put it in your mouth, there's an explosion of delightful lemony bliss.
Seriously, I just got...
I want that so bad.
I just started drooling.
I want it so bad.
I
All we had
do
was Robbie's
love
awful
lemon
cake.
squares.
We just ate that awful cake. And
It
all we
was a
wanted,
delicious cake.
all
but
we wanted
lemon
was
squares,
lemon squares.
You know what? Lemon squares make you feel like you're... They feel a little healthier.
Yeah, they're not, Robbie. They're
They're
not.
not.
No. All right. Here we go. What does that say? Announce theme of the week.
Oh, announced theme of the week.
We told you this in the last show.
Yeah.
The theme of the week is balloons.
Balloons.
A balloon is a remarkable membrane that is shaped in such a way that it holds air when you tie off the narrow end, but it also just stretches in the most delightful and surprising ways.
I was going to say, I don't think the shape has anything to do with it.
Of course it does. If it's just a flat piece of plastic, it doesn't work. The shape of the balloon operates like a vessel with a small opening at one end, so it can be filled and sealed easily.
I
The
stand
shape
corrected.
is everything. So please.
But that shape could be lots of different shapes.
Of course, it is lots of different
Yeah.
shapes. There's long, skinny balloons. There are parade floats. There are balloons they put inside your body to help your arteries open if you need to. There are weather balloons. There are all sorts of balloons. Find out about the balloons. We have an expansive definition of balloons. Tell us, find the most delightful, delicious nugget of balloondom that you can identify. Send it to us at info@robbieandmatthew.com. You will be competing for a prize, which is a print of the amazing balloon illustration Robbie's going to make this week. No, it's true. It's going to be the best that she's ever made, as far as I can tell. The last week's illustration of Mr. Vinegar and Dan, the original, is now on auction on the eBay. If you're interested in owning a piece of original art, the price is still quite low. So if you're interested, it's an attainable threshold at this point. Something, Robbie's going to put the link over here if you're interested. In any case, theme of the week. Tomorrow... Today, you guys will help me write a story.
Oh.
Some of you already did in the previous episode. I'm going to write a story tonight. I'm going to read it to you tomorrow.
Okay.
Go ahead. What were we going to say?
I was going to say, I feel like we've established the main character.
The main character is some money.
Piece of conflict.
And the money wants ham.
Yes.
That's a little strange.
But we need maybe some setting,
We
you
also
guys.
need to get balloons into it somehow.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Well, that's maybe your job.
It is my job.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to get into it. I'm going to make a story. Setting would be great.
Yeah.
And is there an actual antagonist?
Right.
Or is it just an inner conflict, which is a
That's
little
true.
quiet? Robbie was all about action last week. I think Robbie wants a chase scene. I think she wants someone falling off a cliff. And I think at least 3 things have to catch on fire.
You know what I decided? I decided I'm going to approach this illustration in a slightly different way.
Oh, what's that? From
There's
the
a-
left?
No,
No?
there is a thing called editorial illustration.
Oh.
An editorial illustration is basically, a lot of times that it's used for articles, newspaper articles, where there's a whole bunch of information that you have to sort of distill into one illustration.
One idea.
So what we did with Dan and Mr. Vinegar was more of a picture book illustration where you have characters and you're sort of like
More of a literal representation.
more of a literal representation. So I think for the next one, I'm going to try to have it be so that for people who didn't read the story, who maybe just want a nice print of something or a nice painting of something,
Yeah.
it will have, so it's, I mean, there's going to be ham in it probably and money. I don't know.
I don't
Who
know
knows?
if that's the truth. I think the theme of the week
Yeah.
is what you need to focus
Oh,
on.
I have to draw the
illustrating.
balloon.
I think
Yeah.
the balloon
Okay.
needs to be the central character.
All right.
Maybe there's a tiny piece of ham stuck to the side of the balloon. I don't know. We'll figure it out. All right. And now it's theme of the week. What does
Yes.
this say?
Think of 10 adjectives to describe balloons.
All right. We're going to do adjectives on this
This
show.
is fun.
All right, Robbie, let's go back
Do we
and
get
forth
to do
as
this
if
or
we're
is everybody else doing
You guys please add your own adjectives,
Okay.
but I think rather than wait around and
okay.
grow old, we're just going to dive right into it.
Yes.
All right, go ahead, Robbie. You're first.
Is stretchy? That's an adjective,
Stretchy.
right?
Okay. Stretchy. Rubbery.
Taut? T-A-U-t?
When full, I
Stretched-
suppose they're
stretched
taut.
tight?
Yeah. Fragile.
Oh. Light?
Delightful.
Oh. Yes, that's a different sort of
Yeah.
adjective. Wow. We only have 6.
Keep going. Keep going.
Can I pass?
Multifarious, meaning there are different types of balloons. Now, individual balloon is multifarious, but within the balloon
What?
there are many different types of balloons. A balloon is a multifarious. What? What's the matter?
How do you spell multifarious?
multifarious. Multifarious.
That's not related to nefarious, I guess.
I don't know.
No, multifarious. I've
Okay.
never heard that. I'm sorry. That's
Okay.
a new word for Robbie.
Oh, okay. Well, let me make sure I'm not making it up.
I
I'm
know.
gonna look it up.
Somebody look
Can
up
someone look up multifarious and send us?
Multifarious.
And somebody
That spelled like that?
Yeah, and somebody send us the definition of multifarious.
All right.
And tell me if I'm making it up.
I think you're making
all
it
right,
up.
balloons are blue.
Some of them.
Yeah, I was trying.
Colorful.
But some of them are not
okay.
colorful. That's harder than we thought to describe.
know.
Light,
Jeez.
light.
I already said light.
You did?
I did.
And I said delightful. All right, I'm going to say commonplace.
Oh,
You see balloons all over the place.
I'm going to say extraordinary.
They are
Because
extraordinary.
they can be commonplace and extraordinary
They
at the
can
same
at the
time.
same time.
That's 10.
That's it? We did it? All right. Any more?
was harder than I
Multicolored, but
thought.
perhaps just including color words like teal, jasmine, etc. would be better.
Yeah.
All right. We got all these beautiful red balloons from Simon. Thank you. We got colorful multifarious. Who's going to look up multifarious? Al Puppy, I expect you to be on that. Come on. You are she who has
Our
all
top
answers.
research assistant.
All right. What do we have here?
All right. R and M tell each other their best stories relating to
Balloons.
balloons.
So tell me how balloons entered your life story at some point, Robbie. Do you have any good balloon stories?
I do.
Yes.
When I was 2, my favorite thing to do was take blown up balloons and go and then bite them and pop them.
That's the worst.
And
That's
my
the
brother-
worst. You are a terror.
My brother, who is 2 years older,
Yeah.
parent of Ray, who's not on here at the moment,
Yeah.
was
But
terrified by
he
that.
hated that.
He hated it,
Oh
and
my
he would
gosh.
scream and cry.
Oh my
And
gosh.
That was my favorite
Is that
thing
why
to
he
do.
beat you up when he got bigger?
That is yes.
Yeah, you
yes.
deserved it,
That was the
probably.
only thing that I ever won in that relationship, and the rest of the time I was getting beat on and sat on. So
What?
we have a definition of
multifarious.
multifarious.
I was correct. All right. Multifarious having many varied parts or aspects. A vast multifarious organization.
Oh, I did not know balloons could be multifarious.
Well, I think I used it wrong because
Yeah.
a balloon itself is not multifarious. I guess I meant
balloon, the
the
category.
category
is
of
multifarious?
balloon is multifarious. There are party balloons, there are weather balloons, there are medical balloons, there are
see.
parade floats. When I was in college, I had a party trick where I could put a balloon over my head and I could blow it up with my nose while sealing it right here and have it blow up above my head. That is my story about balloons.
That is impressive.
I did it once during an a cappella concert where I was singing my song, and then midway through, instead of singing my solo, I went and I blew the balloon up on top of my head.
Oh my God! How did you get it over your head?
I am a very multifarious
Oh.
individual who has a wide variety of skills and delightful attributes, Robbie.
You know what? I think I did a blog post on finding a weather balloon.
Oh,
I'll just have to find it. Maybe
finding
I'll
it
post
meaning
it.
you left it in your
No,
closet?
up in Alaska.
You don't.
I found it washed up on the
Oh,
beach.
oh.
And then there was some story related to it. I can't remember it.
Super interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Friends, it is time
Oh.
for the part of the story, the part of the show that deals with literature.
Yes.
This is Real McCoy's Two's a Crowd, the second book of the Real McCoy's series, and I'm going to read it to you now, unless you want to read it.
Well, I don't know what chapter we're on.
We're on chapter 12. You want to read it?
I want to read it.
Rob is going to read it.
But the problem is I couldn't figure out how to do a certain thing, but that's okay.
Okay. Robbie
Hopefully
doesn't need to do that thing.
Okay. I didn't need that.
I think you don't even do the thing you want to do is just fine.
Okay, you know what I'm going to do?
Yeah. What are you going to
I
do?
need that first.
Okay.
I'm going to get us... There we go. Now you can just change the page.
Is it fair to say that I'm looking forward to 2 o'clock because maybe we drank a little more water than typical? I just wanted to put that out there. A lot of water came in here. A lot of water. All right, you friends.
That's your fault.
It is my fault.
Am I only reading... No, I'm reading the whole chapter, you guys.
Is it reasonable?
It is reasonable, I
Okay.
think.
We're
Yeah.
going to read chapter 12. Please
All right.
hold on to your seats.
Chapter 12,
Wait.
the true...
Are you holding onto your seat?
I am.
Okay. With your buns?
Yes.
Your hands are not holding onto your seat.
I put my hands below the camera so that nobody would be able to tell
She's
when I
not
was
holding onto her
holding
seat.
onto the
All right,
seat
here we
or
go.
not.
Real McCoy's chapter 12.
Chapter 12,
All
the
right.
truly horrible muffin.
Wait. Hi, Abby. Nice to see you. Thanks for joining us.
Hi, Abby.
Hi, Abby. All right, here we go.
Yay.
Bye.
All right.
Yeah.
It rains all weekend, which is fine with me because all I want to do is reread Annabelle. I need a little bit of a reminder of what's happening.
Me too. I think Moxie has tried to...
Oh, Milton and Emily are now partners.
Oh, right.
And that is distressing.
You know, here's what
for
happened.
Moxie.
Moxie was interrogating John in the last
Yes.
chapter, and she found out that Milton's lie detector is not real, and he used the lie detector to determine that she hadn't read a book that she claimed that she had read. And once he knew she hadn't read the book, he used a trick from the Danny Dogood book to fool her with a fake shiny document. Remember, Milton got her to join the agency or to create a partnership because he gave her the shiny document that she couldn't resist because it was so beautiful. So she was duped by Milton. Milton tricked her, which is not very Milton-like. So she's feeling angry. She's feeling lost. She's not doing well in solving her crime. Emily is now Milton's friend and partner. Like, everything is falling apart.
Everything's falling apart.
Emily is, Moxie is very sad. This is the trough.
Yes.
This is the darkness before the dawn.
Yes.
This is a literary device where the author will make everything awful.
Everything seems terrible before fixing it at the end.
So whoever wrote this book It was like, this is the...
That person just did things the way everybody does
So
it.
formulaic.
So formulaic.
All right, here we go. Here we go, friends.
It rains all weekend, which is fine with me because all I want to do is reread Annabelle. Diving into her adventures is like drinking a milkshake when you have a sore throat. At recess on Monday, there's no kickball game. There are more mysterious letters than anyone can count. Pretty much everyone is standing in line. Pretty much everyone has gotten a letter. Everyone but me, that is. I continue to elude the Squiggler's awful clutches. If Tracy is following Fungo's death by envelope plan, and I have no reason to believe that she isn't, as soon as everyone with really good grades has a letter, she'll unleash the next phase of her diabolical scheme. But what will it be? Surely not building a shoe factory. Then what? Activating poisonous ink that will make her victims forget how to spell? Unleashing subliminal messages that will transform them into an army of brainwashed zombie henchmen who are really bad at math? I glance over at Milton's bench. There's Emily, my big-hearted, good-graded, former best friend. Even though we're as distant as opposite sides of the ocean, I will do anything to protect her. Look at that good drawing I did.
Which one? This one here?
Their benches are on opposite sides of the ocean.
Oh, that's very... I like it when Robbie admires herself.
I
Good job, Robbie.
I don't even remember this cleverness that I did. All right. Ooh, I do remember my drawing of the popsicle, which I like a lot. As we sit there answering Mr. Shine's crazy questions and not really learning anything, I keep an eye on Tracy. If I'm going to expose her as the Squiggler, I'll need to catch her off guard. I think and I think. A delicious plan emerges. At lunch, I snarf my sandwich and sneak down to the art room where I borrow some paper and a purple marker and do what must be done. Back in class, Mr. Shine is standing at the blackboard, writing multiplication problems and calling us up one at a time to solve them. Don't get me wrong, I think math is fascinating and useful and even kind of fun, but watching someone else do math is about as exciting as watching an earthworm take a nap. Which is why it's the perfect time to provide a little pleasant diversion. I open my binder as dramatically as possible. "Oh my goodness," I whisper, lassoing my classmates with my eyes as I pull out the envelope I just happened to find tucked into the pocket. A letter? For me? I pause, letting everyone get a good long look before I continue. There's no stamp, but there is a purple squiggle. The entire class is looking now. Fortunately, Mr. Shine is so busy helping poor George Wallaby remember how to carry the one that he doesn't seem to notice. And so I read the letter, whispering aloud to myself so the other kids can hear all the thoughtful, amazing, wonderful things the Squiggler has to say about me. Moxie, I want you to know how much I appreciate you. You're the world's best detective, and you're only in 4th grade, which is amazing, and our school is lucky to have you keeping us safe from constant threats and peril, and if anyone doubts you, remember they're just jealous. The person you'd least expect. Oh my gosh, this is so nice. I don't deserve such kind words. I glance around the room. Everyone is excited. As they should be. The Squiggler has struck again. I feel Tracy's eyes on my skin like an awful burning rash. I allow myself the tiniest glance in her direction. But I can't read her expression. Is it the scowl of an enraged Squiggler wondering how I got one of her letters? Or is it the look of a jealous classmate who wishes it were her name on the envelope? I'm sitting there in the crossfire of Dublinger disapproval and trying to piece things together when Mr. Shine looks at me and smiles. Moxie, if you're done reading your top secret letter, would you please come up to the board and do some math with me? The class laughs. Any other teacher would have taken the letter away, along with an owl point or two. As I slip my letter back into my binder and walk toward the board, I hear Milton making logical arguments in my head. It's so unlikely that Mr. Shine kidnapped Mrs. Bunyan. It's probably just a coincidence that he has the same pink hat and talks about noggins filled with smog. And the fact that he and Mrs. Bunyan both whistle the same strange song doesn't prove anything. As for the possibility that Mr. Shine could be the Squiggler, there are plenty of purple markers and envelopes in the world. It's not at all strange for a teacher to have them in his classroom, And when would he have had the time to write and deliver all those letters? I glance back at Tracy, who continues to pelt me with her beady little eye missiles. I make up my mind. She's definitely the squiggler, which means Mr. Shine definitely isn't. As he stands there smiling like a lighthouse guiding sailboats through a dark and foggy night, I decide Mr. Shine actually is the kind and cheerful, big-hearted, admittedly odd but frankly quite wonderful person that he seems to be. But just a moment later, as I walk past his desk on my way to the blackboard, I see something that makes my throat seize and my heart pound and my skin grow cold. Something that changes absolutely everything.
I can't wait to find out what it is.
Well, should I keep going? We have a few pages more than... What's the time of it?
We have 3 minutes left.
3 minutes?
Yeah.
There, on the corner of Mr. Shine's desk, is a muffin I recognize. A large and lopsided bran muffin with yellow raisins and white chocolate chips and rainbow sprinkles. The muffin is nestled in a metallic green cupcake wrapper and is sitting on a pink plastic party plate. But by far, the strangest thing about the muffin is the tiny Swedish flag on a toothpick planted in the center. It's a muffin that Mrs. Bunyan would bring to eat for lunch at least once a week. The hat and the song and the smog in the noggin could just be remarkable coincidences, but this muffin is the very definition of weirdly one of a kind. No other human being on this planet or any other planet would make such a muffin. Not only has Mr. Shine kidnapped Mrs. Bunyan, but he's also forcing her to bake for him. I'm trying my hardest to multiply 26 by 39, but am completely distracted by the fact that I'm standing inches from the worst kind of criminal. The numbers blur, the chalk shakes, and Mr. Shine tells me we'll try again later. As I pass the horrible muffin on the way back to my desk, it might as well be screaming, "Danger! Run! Run!" I have no idea what to do next, so I decide to read my letter again. Even though those kind words came out of my own head, I really need some kind of boost. I open my binder, but the letter isn't there, which is impossible because I definitely left it in the pocket. That's when I hear snickering to my left. Tracy Dublinger is holding my letter and shaking her head. "Look, Moxie, whoever sent this letter spelled the word 'you're' wrong, just like you always do. And the word 'there', what a coincidence. And look, there are some commas missing in the exact same places that you always forget to write commas."
Oh, she sounds so awful.
"Give me my letter," I say. I do not say it nicely. "I can't remember. Moxie, did you say this letter is to you or from you?" Tracy is speaking not very quietly. Suddenly, everyone is paying 100% attention to us. "Give it back," I snarl. "In a minute," says Tracy. "There's something fishy going on, and I'm trying to get to the bottom of it." "Give it back." Tracy looks at me with smirking eyes, and I feel as naked as the day I was born.
It's my favorite illustration in the whole book. Little naked baby Moxie.
Oh, Moxie. Wait just a second. Did you send this to yourself? As she hands the letter back to me, Tracy makes a face I've never seen from her before. It turns out the only thing worse than being disliked by a Dublinger is being pitied by one. The class gasps and giggles as Tracy gloats. I want to melt into a puddle so our custodian, Mr. Hammer, can mop me up and wring me out in the utility sink. I want to drain away into the pipes and escape to the distant sea. I want to be anywhere but where I am.
1 page left, you guys.
I make the mistake of glancing at Emily just as she is glancing at me. We lock eyes for a sliver of a second, then we both look away, not sure we can stand to face how we'd feel if we looked a second longer. I need to get out of the room, right now. Without raising my hand, I head for the door. "I need to go to the principal's office," I say, not even waiting for my hall pass. Mr. Shine doesn't try to stop me, probably because he knows it would be impossible.
Oh. Things are getting darker and darker, you guys. Moxie sent a love note to herself. It's so embarrassing.
That makes me so sad. It makes my heart...
Whalen wrote,
Right.
it's a run-on sentence, and you're absolutely right. Moxie's letter to herself is a run-on
And
sentence.
Moxie always uses run-on sentences. That's one of the...
When she's writing it,
attributes,
so
yes.
it's interesting. When the narrative of the book is capturing how Moxie thinks, but
Yes.
not her exact words. When we represent her exact words, we try to show that she's still figuring out how to be a writer.
Yeah.
She leaves punctuation and commas and parentheses out. She's not quite expert on that. So we wanted to show that even though she was trying to sound like someone else writing to herself, she gave herself away with some of her tendencies.
Yes.
Anyway, guys, we've overextended
Yes. You
our
know
time
what?
with you
I think
today.
we should name Abby our official timekeeper.
Oh, thank you. Abby said, friends,
Yeah.
you only have
Tick-tock,
9 minutes
tick-tock.
left. What do you think you're doing
Yeah.
starting a chapter
Yeah.
now? So thank goodness it was a short chapter. Thank goodness Robbie is not a slow reader.
I tried to speed it
And
up
thank
a little
goodness
bit.
for those of you who gave us 2 extra minutes of your time today.
Yes,
We have
thank
enjoyed
you.
this time with you. Get us your balloon research, friends. info@robbieandmatthew.com. I used my big, booming, commanding
that was
voice.
Scary.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Mr. Shine wouldn't ask for
No,
research
no,
like
he
that.
wouldn't. But I'm no Mr. Shine.
No, you aren't.
You, Matthew Swanson, are no Mr. Shine.
No, you aren't.
That's what Lloyd Benson said to me one time.
Who's Lloyd Benson?
Isn't he the person who said, you, sir, are no Mr. Dan Kennedy? Wasn't it? No John F. Kennedy. There's a
like,
famous
Dan
moment
Kennedy is
in
not
a vice.
famous enough
There,
person.
there was a famous moment in a vice presidential debate
Oh.
where someone
Oh,
said to
oh.
someone else, "You, my friend, are no," except it wasn't my friend. You are no Jack Kennedy. That's the exact quote. It's a very
Wow,
famous
please
moment.
somebody do a little
Someone
research
was
on that.
likening himself to. I think it was
So
Dan.
that-
I think Dan Quayle was likening himself to Jack Kennedy, and Lloyd Benson was like, "No, you're no
Oh,
Jack Kennedy."
I remember that.
Yeah.
Now.
All right, did I get all the
forgot
pieces
that
right?
Benson was somebody who ran for president.
He was also someone in a
vice
show
president?
called Benson about a cheerful butler
No,
back in the
no.
day. Different
gosh.
Benson.
Yes, that's such a
Different
terrible show.
Robert Guillaume played Phantom of the Opera on Broadway.
He did?
He did.
What?
I mean, not like the original, but he did at
Wow.
one point.
For all
We're
of
doing
the-
lots of tangents
I was
right now.
going to say, for
The show
all
has
of
gone.
the people who are under 42,
This is the monkey
none
buttons.
of that made sense.
This is the monkey
that was
buttons
full-on
time.
monkey buttons.
I appreciate one of the Shanks wanting us to read more, but we cannot. The show is over. We dole out chapters of
I think
Tusa
maybe
Crowd
that was a little
judiciously.
bit. That was when I was when I had 2 pages left,
No,
and I was
that
worried
just
that
happened.
I
No,
made...
that is a
All right.
rallying
All
cry
right.
for
All right.
more literature. Friends, we wish we could fill your hearts and minds with more, but we must go because we drank too much water and
Matthew
it's become
has
an
to go to the
emergency.
bathroom, yes.
We love you.
Yes.
See you soon. See you tomorrow.
guys.
Bye, guys.
Don't forget to do your balloon homework and send it to me, please.
Please, please, Robbie
Please,
means
I
do
mean,
it or you're in
do
trub
it.
double.
And what?
Trub doubly
Trub
dubs.
double.
Bye.
Who's Jack Kennedy?
Oh, I got
See,
to do another silent burp.
We have so much work to do.
Everett, talk to your parents about
Explaining
that.
Everything.
Talk to your parents.
All right.